Welcome in, my fantasy football degenerates. Let's break down the stardom sit-ems to week 6. This is Sleazeball here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you scroll down below, smash that like, smash that subscribe. Help your boy out. It helps me a ton. I'm trying to bring you the best fantasy football knowledge to help you win your matchups weekly. And so for this, guys, you're going to see two boxes in the middle. The top team is the away team. The bottom team is the home team. I will give you a green bar, a yellow bar, and a red bar. The green bar will obviously be the stardom. The yellow bar will be in between. I'll let you know if I think they should start. The red bar will obviously be the sitem. And what I do is I take a bold stance of a top 10 sitem weekly, and I post it on Twitter and everything, and I recap everything so you can see all my calls. Last week, I was 70% without staying in out of the top 10 in all rankings. It was a pretty crazy week. I hit a lot of calls. It was very nice. And let's start balling, baby. Let's dive into it here. So, number one, also, Pittsburgh and the Packers are on a bye, so make sure you have Freiermuth and Musgrave out your lineups on your bench, whatever. Freiermuth should be coming back soon, too, so if you need a tight end, maybe a buy low candidate on him as well. And here we go. Let's dive into it here to start off. Monday Night Football. We're going to have the Dallas Cowboys at the LA Chargers. So, for me, Jake Ferguson this week is one of my favorite starting tight ends. He only has 28 targets on the season. He's run 137 routes. That's the 12th most in the NFL. But he does get targeted at a 27% rate when he's running his routes, which, you know, is something that Dak has always liked his tight ends a ton. And they get the Chargers' weak defense. So I really, really like Jake Ferguson as a smash start tight end this week. Heading to the Chargers side, I've never been a real Gerald Everett fan, or I know Donald Parham had like 3 touchdowns and 6 receptions and was tight end 6 for a little bit. I don't really buy any of it. Herbert is not a main tight end thrower. He likes the outside X, Ys. He likes deep balls. And Eckler's back now. Eckler's going to soak up at least 7 to 8 receptions, probably 10 targets a game. The fantasy king is back. But I'm still going to put Everett in green here. This will probably be the only week I'll put him in green, just because I like the high scoring probability of this game on Monday night. I mean, the Cowboys defense just got throttled for 42 by the 49ers like a cakewalk. I don't think their defense is like they think it is or how, you know, they react to it. I'm not buying it. I think this is a very high-scoring game, and I can see Gerald Everett finding the end zone. So this is the one time I'm going to put Gerald Everett in green. Heading down to Cleveland now. This is the one right here. This is my bold. So George Kittle coming off 3 touchdowns last week versus the Cowboys, right? Must start tight end. George Kittle, how could you bench him? This is my top 10 sit-em right here with George Kittle this week. And he right now, overall, is tight end 6. He averages 9.6 points a game. He's getting 84% snap share. I mean, what's funny is he's only got 23 targets on the season on 107 routes. They're using him more for blocking to help Purdy, you know, because they're going to tee off on our right tackle. He's, you know, McKivitz is very, very soft on the right side. So when he does run the routes, he gets the ball here a ton. But with the Cleveland Browns, they are number 1 stopping the tight end this season. And I feel like if Deshaun Watson doesn't play, you're not going to see a lot of Kittle in this game. I mean, this is going to be a full CMC Elijah Mitchell. I saw Elijah Mitchell practice today, by the way. I was on the side. Jordan Mason game, I think 100%. Heading down to the Cleveland Browns side, David Njoku is on every single analyst, every single show's sit-em I've seen. But the goal with my stardom sit-em is to beat the projection. His projection is 6 points, man. So if you have, say, PJ Walker playing quarterback, they're going to look for a security blanket more, especially in a garbage time game where they're down. I really think Njoku beats his projection this week, even though it's a terrible matchup start. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if everyone sits him like everyone says to. I'm just on the other side trying to look for a position that we all struggle with to get above the projection. Seattle heading down to Cincy. This is the Sea of Red right here. Noah Fant did have 64 yards last week. He doesn't factor into any top 20 tight end metrics. And Irv Smith Jr. with 0 catches last week healthy. He doesn't tie into any top 20 metrics. And when none of them tie into any top 20 metrics, you know what to do. Send them to the bench. That's a quick game to talk about. I don't like any tight ends in this game. Heading over to the division rivalry, Cardinals and the Rams. So at the moment, Zach Ertz, right? You'd be like, oh my God, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is sitting at tight end 12. He is also sitting at, I believe, number 5 in total targets for a tight end. He's ran 140 routes and he sees a 24% target share per route run. What is there not to like about this? The Rams are also one of the top 10 worst defenses versus the tight end. This should be a smash play. Zach Ertz. I like him a lot this week, especially coming off a touchdown last week, his first of the season. I mean, Josh Dobbs just played terrible, and I thought Josh Dobbs was terrible, and it finally showed up. His 20-point games are done. I like Zach Ertz, in this game just because his position's so hard, and I think the volume will be there. Rams side, Tyler Higbee, 3 receptions last week. 63% of the target share went to Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. This is a smash play for him. It's just, God, Tyler Higbee is crazy. He's 93% snap share used. That's the third most in the NFL. He never comes off the field, and he's still only getting 29 targets. He's number 9 overall in targets. He has 150 routes ran, and he has 19.3% target share per the route ran. So when he's actually out there running them, he gets 20% of them. I mean, this game could get away from the Cardinals so fast, but I don't know. They kind of hang around with garbage time points. But I'm still going to put Higbee as a startem tight end. Sunday night football. Darren Waller finally woke up last week with 11 targets. Darren Waller now finds himself number 4 in targets overall. 125 routes ran at 27.2%, which is third highest percentage. So he's definitely the number 1 target for the Giants. We all know that. Their receivers are terrible. Now you get Buffalo, though, here. I have him as a startem, but Daniel Jones looks so bad. I mean, I honestly feel like how the Giants wide receiver crew is going, that Buffalo is going to tee off on Darren Waller, but it's hard to sit him after a game like that, right? Like the Kittle one. Like, that was a crazy bold call for me to sit a guy after 3 touchdowns. But Darren Waller is just not... he's still green for me, I guess. It's super hard to explain the Giants offense. I can't even... It's tough, man. They may get Saquon back, which may help, a little bit, but I think he gets bracketed, but I'm still putting him green because he's Waller. So the Bills side, we don't know if any of these guys are even playing. That's why I have 1 in green, 1 in yellow. I really don't like, I have Kincaid in green because it looks like he may make it back and Knox may not. And if he does, it'll be the first time he's the full tight end out there by himself. And his projection's 5 points, right? So I have him in green because I think he can beat that. I mean, he hasn't done anything all year. He's been a terrible, well, I don't know why they drafted him so high to not use him at all. He's been a terrible fantasy asset. You can't trade him. He's on the wire now. But I do think he can beat 5 points, so I'm putting him in green this week. Man, Hayden Hurst and the Panthers, man. This game, what the, okay, so Durham Smythe is supposed to be red, but we can leave him as yellow because the crazy thing here for Durham Smythe, right? Durham Smythe is the 11th most used tight end in snap share with 0 production. I mean, that's all Tyreek Hill. It's all Jalen Waddle. It's all the running backs catching the ball. If you need a dart throw, like in a big 16-man, 14-man, 18-man league and you're hurt or something, maybe Durham Smythe, but I don't. That's definitely the red side of the yellow bar for me. Hayden Hurst has fallen out of all top 20 metrics for tight ends. He has 2 points, 1 point, 2 points. The Panthers offense, man, I know they got some garbage time points last week to help out Bryce Young. He had like 18 fantasy points. Adam Thielen's been balling. He's been a top 10 wide receiver. DJ Shark had 10 points, but Hayden Hurst has been a ghost. He doesn't even exist on the team. After that week 1, I thought he was going to be like, oh, a security blanket. He got his touchdown. He had like 8 targets. It's done nothing since. So Hayden Hurst should be on your waiver wire, should be on your bench. He finally woke up. Dallas Goedert finally had a game over 5 points, man. He had 22 points last week, a touchdown, 100-plus yards, or 22 points in our league scoring. We get bonus points for like 100 points and stuff like that, but great showing. Now he gets the New York Jets. Sorry, I'm getting sick, man, or something. My wife's getting me sick. It's terrible. So now he gets the New York Jets. Number 1 worst versus the tight end. You're going to have Sauce Gardner guarding A.J. Brown. You're going to have Devonta Smith. I mean, this could be a smash. Goddard back-to-back bombs. I like him so much this week. I have him at tight end 3, I believe, on my rankings this week on Twitter. So I like him so much this week. It's easy, must start. Now, for the Jets side, Tyler Conklin has sneakily been getting looks. I know he's blocking a lot for Zach Wilson, also just like the Kittle stat. So Tyler Conklin ranks 18 in targets for tight end. He has 23, but he's only ran 91 routes. So if you look at that compared to, like, say, you see TJ Hawkinson with 39 targets and 164 routes. If you look at that for Conklin, say you doubled it, right? He'd be 46 targets for 180. It'd be dead even with Hawkinson. He's not running the same amount of routes because he's helped blocking, but his percentage is 25%, which is top 5 for tight end percentage when he's route running. And now he gets the Eagles defense, and the Eagles defense is bottom 5 versus the tight end. This could be I'm going to say smash, but definitely beat his projection game for Tyler Conklin. If he is on your wire, I like him as a play this week. Mark Andrews is doing Mark Andrews things finally. I mean, he's back to top 10 in snap share at 81%. He is back to number 4 tight end at 12.6 points a game. He is back to top 10 in routes. He is back to top 10 in target per route. You know this guy is always a must start every time he's out there. He gets a Tennessee defense that's very soft versus the pass. This is a smash play for Mark Andrews. Chig Okonkwo. Man, I thought the breakout was coming this year for him, especially with Treylon. Treylon Burks is out too. I mean, I could even move him up here, maybe a little bit to yellow. But he saw 5 targets last week, and that was his season high. Okay, season high. Now, that means for the first 4 games, he had 17 targets, and that's terrible. So he was averaging 4 targets, 3 targets, 3 targets, 4. That's horrible. Percentage of 20% on his low route usage. I don't like Chig Okonkwo. I mean, God, it's the coaching staffer. It's the culture of the run out there. I mean, I didn't like DeAndre Hopkins last week, but he popped off. But, I mean, it's just rough in Tennessee with anything. I mean, I don't even like Derrick Henry. So, I mean, I'm going to put him in red, but I do like his talent, man. I wish he was on a different team. Colts and the Jags. We got Minshew Mania, the stash in the building. I honestly think that this is going to help the Colts receiving group as a whole over Anthony Richardson, who is a bigger body, bigger runner. I did say in a bunch of my videos, week 2 and week 3, that Anthony Richardson is going to get hurt from the dumb freaking hits that he's taking, man. And look what happened. Boom. Hit. Again, he likes to go heads up like these aren't college players, man. These are NFL big boys. You can't be doing that. He's out till week 11 right now as the status. Looks like he may be out for the season. Now, with Kylan, it should be Kylan Granson, not Kyle Granson. With Kylan Granson, he sees decent targets, but I think with Gardner Minshew, who targets the tight end at a way higher rate than Anthony Richardson, he's a decent play. And I have Jelani Woods in red because I really, really like Jelani Woods coming off the IR. Should be next week. He's a monster, huge body. And I think he's going to have a decent year at tight end. I projected him for 10 touchdowns on this guy's Twitter space before the season started. I didn't know he'd go to IR, but I mean, that you can't predict injuries. So, but I like to pay attention to him a lot right now on the wire. Evan Ingram, the most surprising tight end. I missed on this all preseason. I can't lie. I was not a fan. I thought Calvin Ridley would be there and it'd take away tons of looks for Ingram. That has not happened. He is tight end 7 on the year. He's averaging 8.1 points per game, and he's actually done that without a monster game. So like he's not like Cole Kmet, who just dropped a 25-point game. He's done that with consistency, which no tight end but him and Travis Kelce have done, and Mark Andrews is starting to now, have done all year. Also, Evan Ingram is playing at 76% snap rate. That's number 14. And he is also crazy enough to think about this, the number 2 targeted tight end in the NFL, but he's also ran a crazy amount of routes. So he's the number 2 most targeted. He's also ran the most routes in the NFL at tight end, and his target percentage per route is 20%. So it's not as high as others. He doesn't really crack the top 10 in that, but his production is phenomenal. I mean, if you can trade for him now, you should. The routes that he's running is amazing, but at the tight end value, people probably aren't going to give it up like that. Thursday night football is Travis Kelce night. This is going to be King Ding-a-ling. He's going to go off for 20 points. I know it. I just feel it. I think Pacheco has a monster night too, but I think this is going to be one of those Travis Kelce comeback. He hasn't really hit us with that big game yet. I think it's happening tonight. Adam Troutman, you can drop. Don't even think about ever starting him. Don't think about picking him up. He's dropped 3 goose eggs in a row as a starting tight end. It's absolutely terrible. Greg Dulcich should be coming off IR tonight. So if you need a tight end and you have an open spot or you have an IR spot still, like you can carry over, like say, you have a full roster and your IR spot's open and you like the roster you have for the week, you can stash that guy because he's not off the IR yet on your Yahoo or ESPN or whatever. A little sneak play for you right there. But I like him going forward, especially with the Jerry Jeudy news, right? Jerry Jeudy just said he's going to be traded by the end of October. Marvin Mims and Dulcich should see an uptick right there. So I like him a lot to pick him off the wire right now. The man, Iowa U, T.J. Hawkinson just became the number 1 target at tight end if it's possible to get at all. With Justin Jefferson down and out till week 11, and you never know what's going to happen here in Minnesota. They could blow this whole thing up. You could see some of them traded. You don't know if Cousins is going to stay there. But until anything happens, T.J. Hawkinson is going to see massive, massive volume against the Bears this week. He's a 100% smash play, 10 plus. He's going to crack his projection, maybe one of those big games. Because Kirk Cousins is still good. It's just you lost, the GOAT receiver right now. You lost Justin, you lost Jetta. It's going to be really tough. So, I mean, he's balling out to the max in these next 4 weeks. Cole Kmet, are you ready for this? Justin Fields with 8 touchdowns in 2 games. And once that roller coaster ride starts with Fields, you never get off, man. Cole Kmet right now is tight end 3 on the year, averaging 10.5 points per game. Cole Kmet is also 81% snap share, number 8 in the NFL. Cole Kmet is also number 8 in targets. He is also number 6 in routes ran, and he gets a target percentage of 23.4, all in the top 10. All top 10 metrics, everything looks good. I think he can finish the year as a top 5 to 7 tight end. At this rate, the Bears' schedule is phenomenal. Minnesota's pass defense is terrible. This could be a smash Cole Kmet, Justin Fields game, and DJ Moore, all of them. I like every single Bear this week, 100%. Logan Thomas. I said last week, you must grab Logan Thomas off the wire before Thursday Night Football. And all my videos, Twitter, everything, boom. Smash play, 18 points. Had a fumble, got 16 points, I forget. Now he gets the Falcons. So, Okudah and Terrell, I've said this in like 3 videos now. This is why you benched Nico Collins last week. Everyone tripped out on me saying that, and it hit. You have the 2 guys that are going to lock down McLaurin and Dotson. AJ Terrell and Okudah are nasty on the outside. Where the Falcons get beat is across the middle. Curtis Samuel and Logan Thomas will be better plays this week than Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. Mark my words. Must start tight end and Logan Thomas. Hello. Welcome back to the NFL, Kyle Pitts. 11 targets, 80 yards. And I tweeted out 2 weeks ago, it's one of these weird feelings I have that it's time to go buy Kyle Pitts. Let me break down this guy's numbers right now. So, Kyle Pitts is 6th in targets at tight end at 32. He has ran 151 routes. He's only targeted at 20%. Not totally great, and the way to look at that is, I guess there's a couple different ways to look at that because they don't really pass that much. But man, when they do, he's out there every single time. The bad part is his snap share is only 67% and Johner's is higher. But I feel like they found something here with Arthur Smith, opened it up a little bit. I think it's going to be better. He's still not into the top 10 in tight end total points, which bothers me. His talent is so good. But now you get Washington's defense. You just saw what the Bears did to them last week. Their secondary is decimated. This should be a smash Drake London, smash Kyle Pitts game right here. It will be tougher sledding for Bijan Robinson in the run game. He will see better work in the pass game 100% because the front of the Washington Redskins is actually really good with Montez Sweat and Chase Young. They got a lot of money invested into that D-line. So I like both these tight ends for a start this week. The Saints, I don't even know. I guess maybe there's one thing I could say here about the Saints tight end room, which is absolutely terrible. The only top 20 metric, I believe, if I remember, is that Jawan Johnson at least plays in the top 20 of snap share. Yeah, he's 13th in snap share, 76%. But man, if you remember, like if you've been a subscriber or follower or whatever it is, Twitter for everything, I said all year that Derek Carr doesn't target tight ends unless they're superstars like Darren Waller. And look what's happened. There's nothing. There's no point to own anything with the Saints tight end. I don't even know why I gave it this much time to talk about, but they're not ever going to be a start for me. Now, Dalton Schultz and the Texans coming off 16 points and 12 points and 0.5 PPR. Monster weeks for tight end position. And you see the connection getting better with CJ Stroud and him, but this is where you get off the lightning right here. You don't ride it right here. The Saints are number one all year at shutting down the tight end at an average of 3.8 points per game. Do not start Dalton Schultz this week. Trust me, please. That's all I have to say about that. Pats, Raiders. Hunter Henry has had such a tough road. So he was tight end 1 for the first 3 weeks, and it's just been a blasphemy shit show for the past 3 weeks of just tough, brutal matchups. Now he gets the Raiders. They're middle of the pack versus the tight end. This should be a better productive game. His projection's only like 6.14. I put him as a start. He still is tight end 8 overall with 7.6 per game because how much his start or how crazy his start was and how bad every other tight end was at the time. He's still number 6 in snap share usage. He's still 83%. He shouldn't be on your wire at all. He's only got 25 targets. He's only targeted 17.7%. That's gone down because the matchups have been brutal. I don't know if they're keying on him more because the start he had. That could be, a possibility also. I haven't really watched a lot of these Pats games, man. Their offense is tough to watch. But the volume should be there. They should be behind in a couple games. I like him as a green start this week. Raider Nation. Michael Mayer got more than one catch in an NFL career game. Finally, they started to use him. I still can't put him in red just because he got 3 catches. But like Dynasty and stuff, he's supposed to be the best tight end coming out of the draft. They still haven't even opened him up. It's still tough for me to ever say start him. I mean, maybe you should keep an eye out for him, like redraft of 12 men, but not 10 men or anything like that. So he's in red for me. Last game. Quick update here. Before I made this video, Sam Laporta is green 100% every single week. Tight end number 1. Averaging 11.9 points per game. And the trippy part is he's only the 8th most snap share used tight end. So he does all that on not like limited production, but middle of the pack production. I mean, he's an absolute superstar stud. Number 7 in targets, only ran 116 routes also and still targeted at 27%. It's ridiculous. He's pass blocking, run blocking, route catching, hands. He's the next, I'm going to say like Travis Kelce, but he's putting up goddamn good numbers, man. But the update is that he had a calf strain today. So make sure you pay attention to that heading into Sunday because they don't just drop a calf strain on Thursday. That's not a good sign. I know he's young. That's a plus. I mean, if it was a calf strain for like Travis Kelce at 34, you'd be worried. So something to think about heading into the game. Now, my sleeper call of the week is Cade Otton, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Detroit Lions front 7 smashes passing the run. They are the 2nd most yards given up to tight ends on the season. Cade Otton is the number 1 most used tight end in the NFL at 97%. I know he doesn't hit a lot of good metrics of target. He doesn't hit top 20 in target metrics. He doesn't hit top 20 in points. But he's getting used to Baker Mayfield, and Mike Evans has a little hamstring. It says he's very limited today in practice was the update. I think Cade Otton, his projection is 4.8 points. I mean, this could be beat. He had 7 points last game, found the end zone for the first time in the season. That was before the bye. Now they had the bye. I like him. If you need a tight end and you don't have one, he's on the wire. I like him a lot this week, 100%. And that is it for my startem, sitem, tight end video, guys, for week 6. Thank you for watching. As always, if you guys have any comments, questions, anything, trades, whatever you want to talk about, rosters, drop them in the comments below. I'll try and answer them as fast as I can. I will be live tonight for the game on Twitch and TikTok. Also, I'll make my rosters and everything, all the lineups and everything, get it going. Thank you guys again. As always, like and subscribe, help your boy out, and I will catch you in the next one, man. Peace.